Good morning, good evening to Professor Vinyat Jain, who is the professor in political science. That I have been honored to know her almost like 2 decades now. Um, the program is called Reporting Live Abroad, as we had 6 episodes in the past. Now, this is going to be the 7th, and we have one more in February about the Ukraine future. This report lasts 25 minutes, and everybody is free to sign off when the time arrives, but those who would like to be around can stay on. And this event is recorded so that we will make this lecture available online for those who are interested in the future. Let me briefly introduce our distinguished speaker, my good friend, Professor Jain. Dr. Jain is a professor of political science in the University of Rajasthan, Jaipur. I may say that not accurately. She is also director for the Center for Gandhian Studies. She is also the Asian Pacific Peace Research Association General Secretary. Dr. Jain is widely traveled to almost all the continents of the world and different parts of India. She is a popular speaker and made presentation in different national and international seminar in different capacities like chair, keynote speaker, resource person, initiator, and panelist. She is actively involved in spreading Gandhian ideas and practices throughout the globe. She is the first woman professor in Asia who was elected as APPRA Secretary General. Professor Jain, thank you so much for coming to talk to us about the revisitation of Gandhi in the contemporary context today in India. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaskar, everyone from Jaipur. Is the pink city, is city of love, city of peace, city of joy, where I live, and I had the privilege of having Professor Jain Maurong to Jaipur once. We met here also. I'm so happy and I'm so proudly privileged to be a part of this important, Nebraska World Affairs web series. And I just say namaskar to everybody who is attending this, including Vicky Stone, whom I bothered by my emails. So thank you so, so much. It's a very, very important topic on which I chose to speak today because I feel that Gandhi is as relevant as he was never before. It would be our fault if we do not give a serious thought, a serious chance to this man who has offered so many alternatives from which the whole of humanity is struggling today. The most fundamental questions of hatred, agony, pain, poverty, exploitation, environmental degradation, atrocities against poor workers, farmers, women, and most importantly, the mother nature. This is the precise reason. So I think that Gandhi is really very, 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 very popular today. And the world, intellectuals of the world are giving a serious thought to this man. In 1909, Gandhi wrote a very, very important book. It's a very slim book, maybe 20 pages, Hind Swaraj, which can be the manifesto of Gandhian philosophy. It has a sketch of this future society, future civilization, because here he produces a critique of this modern civilization. And as early as 1909, Gandhi realized that the society and civilization where we are heading to, over consumeristic, over materialistic, over capitalist civilization, is going to be a disaster in all possible ways, ethical, environmental, humanitarian, all possible ways. And Gandhi they just give a critique of modern satanic civilization and gives a design of what he has in his mind, because the path we adopted by choosing this liberal capitalist, global pathway, it has intolerance, violence. They are inherent in this situation because it is market driven, it is commerce driven, it is there is a concentration of power, wealth, and knowledge in the hands of few. There is a increasing rift of rich and poor. So these are inbuilt and inherent this kind of civilization where we are really heading to, where man is lost in the big markets. There are big markets, but we have solitary individual, and who has no one, no community, no family, no friendships where he can really share his solitude, his alienation, his agonies and pains. So this concentration of power, wealth, and knowledge opens the path for hegemonistic paradigm, opens the path for social Darwinism, where the rich, the powerful can sustain and be there, and the others have no pass, no way out. So it is creating new holocaust, new apartheid, new slaveries. It is a war of monocultures, which is homogenization, because this world is making us homogenize. There is no respect for diversity. So it is a war of monocultures against diversity, of big against small, of technology against nature, of market against culture, and above all, of commerce against love and compassion. So after the dismissal of these two, dismissal and failure of two prominent models of development, which is capitalist and Marxist, here is a third model of development, which is sustainable model of development, which is pro-poor, which is pro-workers, which is pro-patients, which is pro-people, which is pro-women, and which is pro-mother nature. So this sustainable model of development, this appropriate model of development is very, very important, where I really want to ponder, some thoughts on this, because I feel that the first important thought of Gandhi, which makes him very, very relevant and contextual in nowadays, because I said we are moving ahead in the hegemonistic paradigm, which divides the already divided world on the name of caste, class, creed, gender, communities, riches, and whatnot. West, East, developed, the Americans, Indians, so many apartheids are there. So here is a man who talks of this harmony. So the baseline, because I feel is the biggest innovator of humanism, of harmonism. He gives, I call in Hindi, which is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Whole earth is my family. Whole world is my family. So he gives, and he gives the thought of oceanic circle. Oceanic circle means I'm a drop in the ocean. An individual is the nuclei of this ocean. It's very, very important. But it is important, it is focal until and unless it is in the coherence of the whole. So individual is important, but in the coherence of the whole. If this drop of water is taken out of the ocean, it has no meaning. It has no existence. So I make the ocean, I'm the nuclei, I'm the focus, the individual, but this harmonious relationship, because, and I quote one, which is, I feel very, which is very near to my heart in Gandhi's quote. Gandhi says, I am therefore you are, and you are therefore I am. We peacefully coexist. We are not individual beings, we are interbeings, we are world beings, we are sons and daughters of one God. And not only humans, but birds, animals, rivers, lakes, ocean, mountains, they all live on each other. How human being thought that he is independent and above and beyond all this, and he's really spreading this, disturbing the coherence. So we should never forget that we are an earth community, an earth democracy. It is an interconnected web of life. Ideal society is built brick by brick, community by community. Life is not a pyramid, where we just climb on each other. It is a circle, ever widening and never descending. So it is a circular, peaceful, coexistent mechanism of living. It is not competitive arrangement, it is the coherent arrangement. And Gandhi says this peaceful coexistence among all living and non-living things, non-living beings, this mutual respect is the law of life. This non-violence and non-killing and love and compassion are law of life. And that is why, Gandhi says, and what we have been doing in last few years, and think of this pandemic which came to us, and believe me, there can be many more pandemics if we do not behave ourselves. So we are encroaching other species spaces. We are taking their share of water, sunshine, food, energy. We are captivating them, we are putting them in prison, crushing them in factory farm, and so much of non-vegetarianism has happened. And everybody would agree to me that the last pandemic and maybe the coming things, because Dalai Lama has written somewhere, he says, and he tells this human being that humans, you are the wisest children of Mother Nature, Mother Earth. Behave yourself. Otherwise, one day, Mother Nature can even think of living without humans, because it has much, much more beautiful eco life and wonderful, other lives are there to be taken care of. So this is the high time that the smartest child of Mother Earth has to understand what we are doing. Just because you're born as human, you don't have any right, to take everything and waste everything, accumulate everything, and even take their lives. So here, because Maurang also believes in this non-killing, I want to emphasize this. Vegetarianism. Gandhi was a strict vegetarian, a vegan. Later he consumed goat's milk, but he took a vow of not having cows and buffaloes milk. And he has written a book on which is moral basis of vegetarianism. This is very important nowadays, because this kind of uh, incidents happening has really pushed us to the sort of pandemic which we suffered last time. So Gandhi says body is a temple and food is divine. Food is medicine. So we should be really careful what we are eating. Food is only for the sustenance of the body. It's not for the making happy your palate. It is not for that. It is not the satisfaction of the palate. It is only for the sustenance of body. And that is why Gandhi says non-vegetarianism is a biological, ecological, and ethical disaster. He really emphasized this. And Gandhi says we are not only bodies, we are mind, we are brains, we are intellect, we are emotions, we are much, much more than that, and we have higher endeavors to pursue. He was creating a satyagrahi. Satyagrahi was the foundation of satyagraha. And who is a satyagrahi? A satyagrahi who doesn't have a stout body, maybe he doesn't have a stout body, a muscular body, but he has a strong soul. He has a moral, ethical power to sustain all kind of injustice happening to him. So, and that is why Gandhi says women can be better satyagrahis than men, because they have much more ethical and moral power. Maybe they are lacking in physical power, but they are morally, because they are mothers, perhaps. That is the reason the nature made her ethically and morally, spiritually more powerful. I don't want to create any rift here, because there are already so many rifts there. So the first point which I want to say here is, which makes Gandhi very, very viable and validated, that harmony is the rule of life, not hegemony. Cooperation and coexistence is the law of life, not competition. And what this modern civilization is teaching us: be richer than him, be fairer than her, be more powerful, more and more and more. This, where are we leading to? I don't know. So Gandhi's this theory of harmony is the basic crux which teaches us and which lead us to a beautiful, a just, exploitation less society. Because ultimately, what do we want? We want a peaceful, joyous society, not anything else. The second thought which I want to bring here, which makes again Gandhi very, very important, and why the intellectuals of the world, on every forum, I had the opportunity of traveling all over the world, and in all kind of conferences, seminars, workshop, Gandhi is referred so widely by most of the scholars, because they think that there is a man who has answers to these questions, from which, and especially the two important questions have made Gandhi very relevant: environmental degradation and violence. Violence, like it's spreading like anything. In the school bags, children are carrying pistols. What, on the question of parking? People are fighting on roads. What is happening? And in the last few years, what has happened in India against women, the violence, the sexual violence, the domestic violence, the all kind of molestation, eavesdropping, rape, these episodes, man has become so intolerant, So that is why Gandhi is reference to Gandhi really is very, very important, because he has the answers to these kind of problems. When I say I want a stout soul, it means I want more ethical, spiritual, psychological, emotional powers than a physical power on which the whole market is totally focusing. Eat this, have this, purchase this. Every time you open a TV or a radio, or you open a newspaper, you buy this, as if I'm only a consumer, as if I have only this work of purchasing things and dumping them in my home, and it makes me so sick. So Gandhi says, no, there is a time when we think of other, because we are here for much more higher endeavors and works to pursue. The second thought which I want to underline is thought of freedom. Gandhi was the utmost, believer of freedom. He was so his Gandhism is actually anti-colonialism. Whatever colonizes me, Gandhi says, I would prefer rather to die than to be unfree. He believed in autonomy, sovereignty, supremacy of this individual, because Gandhi believed in the capacities and potential of this human being. See the beauty. He is making a powerful individual and placing him in a totality of harmony. So this individual who is all powerful, all comprehensive, all important, but he is not independent of his surroundings. He is not independent of his context. He is based and placed somewhere. So Gandhi believed in this man. You must have heard this quote of Gandhi: "Be the change you want to see in the world." All solutions lie in this individual, and this is so true. I can have so much of systemic changes. If I refer to laws for women in my society, we have several laws, we have several systemic changes, but nothing is happening, because until and unless you design a new man, a new woman, a new individual who is sensitive enough, who is who has understanding of things, nothing can happen. You can have lot of systemic changes. Until and unless you design a new individual, nothing can happen. So Gandhi gives these 11 vows to this, individual: a vow of truth, non-violence, tolerance, non-possession, non-touchability, non-stealing, and he made a very, very powerful man, because Gandhi thinks that all solutions lie in individual. Ultimately, you have to address this individual. You can do constitutional changes, legal changes, systemic changes. You can have police and everything, but until and unless you address this man, nothing can happen. So this empowering this man is very, very important. So the second thought which I said, Gandhi believed in all, anything which colonizes me, which imprisoned me, I'm against it, because I believe that man is born free and he wants to be free. But yes, which man? The man who is trained enough, designed enough to understand his responsibilities, not only rights but his duties. Not only he's not, solitary here. He belongs to the context, to the totality. So this man, and if this man is there, we do not need anything else. We do not need code of laws. We do not need police on each place, and to just tell me what to do and where I should go and where should I, because I'm self-conscious enough. So he's preparing this individual. And from this individual, the third thought, because I thought I'll just talk about, just refer briefly to these thoughts, and maybe we can have some interactions afterwards if desired. The third thought which comes to my mind is his theory of self-reliance. And as you know, friends, nowadays globalization is talking about this global, the global world, the harmonious world, on the name of, homogenization. One culture is imposing itself on the others. Gandhi says no. Do not globalize at the cost of local. The self identity is very, very important. So be global, think globally, but act locally. Your eyes can be on the sky, on the stars, but your feet should be rooted enough, because I have my own identity. India has its own identity. And that is why Gandhi talked of localism, cottage industry, village industry, small machines, uh, handful of, people who, because because Gandhi was referring to Indian context when he was fighting for the national movement. And he knew that we have a big, huge middle class who are not so educated, but they can be skilled. They can earn their livelihood by working on small industries at their homes. So Gandhi was not against. People say he was against machines and technology. No, no, he was in favor of small machines. I mean, I can make soaps, I can make candles, I can give employment, generate employment. So this combination, he was talking about these craftsmen, the artisans, the small workers who can, and this is appropriate technology, when I can conserve water by my own technology. We do not need a Harvard trained water expert. My own village person know how to conserve water, how to make small water bodies, how to use these resources. So Gandhi was talking. So the Gandhian model of sustainable development comes with this appropriate technology. Appropriate technology means no imported technology, that technology which belongs to me, which I know very well, because my problems are my specific, and I have the specific solution to that. So Gandhi talks about this balance between development and environment. On the name of development, you cannot play with environment. You cannot waste the economic, environmental, you things, because we know how these resources are limited. Water is limited, energy is limited. You cannot waste. We are making filth, heap of filth and wastage. This is not done. If you live like this, Gandhi says, you need maybe 2, 3, 4 earths. If you can produce more earths, you can do like that. Otherwise, a balance between material development and environment, a balance between global and local. That is why people are talking about globalism. In which sector I want to be local? Like education is my preview, health is my preview. So a combination of global and local, a combination of technology and culture. That is why Gandhi talked about mother tongue. Gandhi you know talks about these dangers of being globalized and you losing your own identities, because when the big market comes, the small shopkeepers, the small artisans, they just go away. So Gandhi talked about this swadeshi. I quote Gandhi says, when I say swadeshi, when I say self-reliant, it does not mean that I'm against being opening my eyes to the avenues of being global. Not anti. I'm anti-colonial. I'm not anti-foreign. So this is what Gandhi says, and Gandhi says, I'm quote Gandhi. He says, "Keep the doors and windows open so that the fresh air can come in, but be aware that you are not swept off your feet. Let the air, fresh thoughts come, fresh ideas come, but we be aware that you do not lose your Indianness, your Chineseness, your womanhood. So this keeping this balance of local and global is very, very important. And next thing which I want to say is the whole thought of Gandhian environment, because I think he is the biggest champion of environmental thought, the first and foremost champion of environment, because he understood this. That is why he used to call Mother Nature. Environment, the earth is just like my mother, I belong to it. And how we are doing atrocities against our mother, how much we are polluting it, wasting, and what not we are doing. And if we'll disturb so much of coherence of Mother Nature, these kind of, either the global warming would happen or something else would happen, because you have to behave to this, that this is you belong here, this is your mother. That is why Gandhi used to call it Mother Nature. And again, I quote Gandhi says, nature has enough to fulfill everybody's need, but it has very little to fulfill anybody's greed. Please don't be greedy. Please don't be greedy. As mother can I mean, if it has 4 children, 5, 6 children, if even the children friends come, I can cook for all of them and feed them. But I cannot feed anybody's greed. And we are becoming very, very greedy nowadays. So we have to understand this, that these natural resources are very, very limited. And that is why Gandhi said, don't waste them. We have to use this. And Gandhi talked about green technology, green material, alternative energies, thermal, social, solar, biomass, wind. We have to understand this, that we have to take care, because this earth is not of your forefathers has left. It is a debt for the future generation. What are you going to leave for your children and grandchildren and great grandchildren? You will use everything and go away, all water, all resources, and what would happen, what they would do. So you have to understand this, that this the development is sustainable if it is futuristic, if it thinks of the future, if it thinks of the society in. That is why Gandhi talked of minimization of needs, which is against the thought of market. Market teaches me maximization of needs, artificial creation of needs. I need 4 kind of soap to take bath, hair wash and pedicure wash and whatnot. And Gandhi talks of minimization of needs. Gandhi used to do his morning brush and only one tumbler of water. And once he was talking to Nehru, he wasted all the water. Nehru said, "What happened? Why are you so sad? You can take more water. Sabarmati river is flowing behind you." Gandhi said, "This river is not only mine, it is for the whole nation. When I use my share of resources, this is sustainability. When I smartly use these limited resources, it is sustainability." I'm not keeping track of time, so you have to just say me, Maurong. You have to. I
Yeah,
have 5 more minutes. I have 5 more minutes.
you can have 5 more minutes, but those who have to leave, please feel free to leave. But please go ahead, Professor Jane. Thank you.
Oh, I have already consumed 25 minutes. Is it really? No. Yes,
Yes, it
I have.
is.
Okay. So at this, so I think I'll just wind up and saying that Gandhi believed in this joy of giving, doing for others, love, compassion, designing a new man, a new woman. And I think this is the high time that we understand. We bring back this man who believes in love, compassion, so non-violence is not absence of violence. Non-violence is love and cooperation and compassion and service. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. If I can have few observation questions, I would be very happy.
Well, thank you very, very much, Professor Jane. I'm so honored that you give such a great talk. And I just want to share one good news from Nebraska. December 6th last year, and the governor of the Nebraska viewed the bust of Mahatma Gandhi in the state capital, Nebraska. And also we made a ceremony mark the proclamation of December 6th as a day of remembrance for Gandhi in the state of Nebraska. So this is such a timely talk, especially when we hear very disappointedly there are people and there are some popular movement in India that aims to discredit Gandhi, and especially nowadays that when we do need the the talk and action for nonviolence, and there is anti-Gandhi things in India that is very disturbing. Anyway, I just want you to know our Secretary of State, Miss Cindy Allen, is here in the audience. So thank you so much for coming. And also we have students from Creighton joining us. So with that, I just want to make sure that this event is taped, that we can have this as accessible to many people who would like to hear your lecture. Thank you very much. And then I'm officially stop the recording, but those who want to stay around, please do. Thank you.